How are you? How are your lessons going on? Are you getting through the topic? Are you jotting down the main points? Any question do you have? Ask it first. Fine? See, now in this chapter, Era of One Party Dominance, we are going to discuss the emergence of different political party in terms of opposition. In fact, we are discussing opposition parties. We have discussed those parties, their detail we are going to discuss now. Two main such parties that emerged, we are going to discuss today: Socialist Party and the Communist Party of India. Fine? Different topics, or though all other topics in this chapter also we had finished, be that challenge of nation building and the democratic politics, the way it had been instituted in our country, the conduction of first general election, dominance of the Congress in the first three general elections, 1952, 1957 and 1962. Then the nature of the Congress dominance and Congress as social and ideological coalition were discussed, and tolerance and management of faction, that has been the key, that has been the strength of the Congress. And at last, but not the least, emergence of opposition parties had been discussed by us. Today, while we are going to discuss these two parties, Socialist Party and the Communist Party of India. Fine. So to begin, let us begin our discussion with the party named Socialist Party. From the term social or socialism, in fact, this party somehow is very close to the ideology of socialism. So name also it got derived from socialism as Socialist Party. And when we try to trace its root, then we need to go back to the mass movement stage of what Indian National Congress during the freedom struggle in the pre-independence era. This party, in fact, earlier was known as Congress Socialist Party. It was the Congress Socialist Party. Remember, different factions and groups were there in the Congress earlier. That's why in the year 1934, children, a party has been formed with the name Congress Socialist Party. Okay. Now, by a group of young leaders of the Congress Party and those leaders whose ideology was similar or who wanted a more radical and egalitarian Congress, who wanted Congress to be more radical, more egalitarian, such Congress, in fact, and those members, they discussed, they decided, and at last they went ahead to form party named Congress Socialist Party. Okay, 1934. Fine. Now, everything started going after independence, just after independence in the year 1948. The think tank of the Congress, they decided to amend its constitution, the constitution of the Congress Party. By their members, it had been decided that we are going to make some changes, we are going to amend it. And what was their purpose? They wanted to stop these dual party membership. Means other parties were there within the Congress. They were the member of that party, for example, the Congress Socialist Party and Congress Party as well. So now they wanted to end this system, in fact. That's why amendment had taken place in the constitution of the Congress Party and dual membership had been avoided. This concept, in fact, has been scrapped now. Now, the real cadre of the socialist, they had no other option except to come out from the Congress and to form a separate socialist party. The same year, 1948, Socialist Party came into existence. Socialist Party has been formed. Fine. And thereafter the journey of Socialist Party, not the Congress Socialist, only Socialist Party began. Its performance was not up to the mark. So the cadres, the leaders were in fact disappointed in the beginning. They were disappointed. Okay, cadres and leaders. Though party ensured its presence in every part of our country, in every states of India, most of the states of India, though, and still it made its presence. But as far as electoral successes are concerned, it was nominal. In few pockets only it succeeded. In most of the cases, in most of the pockets, it did not succeed. Are you getting me? Yes, children. Here, as it happened like this, just afterwards, the Congress Socialist Party now was over. The era, the phase of Congress Socialist Party was over. Now it was only the Socialist Party. Now we need to know their ideology. What had been the ideology of the Congress? Sorry, not the Socialist Party. It believed in the ideology of democratic socialism. Yes, children, always keep in mind democratic socialism. And this democratic socialism, the concept of the Socialist Party, was different from the Congress and from the Communist. Okay, this concept was different from the concept of the Congress Party and from the Communist Party. They didn't like, they criticized the Congress because Congress favored capitalists, Congress favored landlords, so they criticized the Congress Party. Simultaneously kept criticizing the Congress because Congress ignored the concerns of, the interests of the workers and the peasants. But Socialist Party faced a dilemma. This was a very difficult task for the Socialist Party. What was the dilemma of the Socialist Party? This was the year 1955. Now, in this year, Congress declared its goal to be the socialist pattern of the society. Till date, it was nothing like that. Now, Congress decided to declare, and it declared. What has been declared? The socialist pattern of the society. Now, it became utmost difficult for the socialists to present themselves as an effective alternative to the Congress. Till date, they were representing themselves, they were projecting themselves as an alternative to the Congress. But now, when Congress announced, declared the socialist pattern of society, this was very difficult for the socialists to present themselves in effectively, in assertive manner. Okay. Now the leader, like Ram Manohar Lohia, they started moving away. They started maintaining a distance from the Congress and even criticizing the Congress. They started maintaining a distance, in fact. They moved away. So now it was difficult for them. They can't be close to the Congress and they can't openly criticize the policy of the Congress as Congress has adopted and declared socialist pattern of society. Getting it? Yes. The main leaders, as far as is concerned, one Ram Manohar Lohia, the champion thinker of socialism in our country. Another was Jayaprakash Narayan. Who will forget these two names, in fact, children? And other leaders. One such leader was Ashok Mehta. He was a champion advocate of a limited cooperation with the Congress. Ashok Mehta advocated that we must not stop cooperating with the Congress but emphasized on a limited cooperation with the Congress. Fine, children? Apart from these two leaders, what had been mentioned, there were other leaders also. This was not the case that we had only two leaders. In case of the other leaders, like, because see, the party in its infant stage, initial stage, goes through several splits, unions, reunions, okay, leading to the formation of many socialist party. It happened in the case of Socialist Party also. And all these parties that came out from this Socialist Party, the Kisan Mazdoor Praja Party, the Praja Socialist Party, Sanyukt Socialist Party, okay, like these were the parties that came out from the Socialist Party. Fine. And the leaders, apart from Ashok Mehta and Ram Manohar Lohia, we had Jayaprakash Narayan, we had Achyut Patwardhan, we had S.M. Joshi. Fine. We had Acharya Narendra Dev, the champion thinker, the freedom fighter, and he was the founding president of the Congress Socialist Party. When Congress Socialist Party had been formed in 1934, Acharya Narendra Dev was the founding president. Okay. And those days, in fact, children, for our freedom fighters, jail used to be their second home, in fact. Fine. So they never hesitated from going into jail. And these all leaders, in fact, they were the thinkers of, champion thinkers of the socialism. And in the days to come, in the following days, in the coming years, in fact, so many parties that came out from the socialist party, in fact, children. Fine. Nowadays, suppose you are having the Samajwadi Party, we are having the Rashtriya Janata Dal, we are having Janata Dal Secular in Karnataka, we are having Janata Dal United in a state like ours, Janata Dal United, a ruling party. They all trace their root in the Socialist Party. Fine. Hope now the concept of Socialist Party must be clear to you, children. Okay. Now let us move to the Communist Party of India. Fine. This was the time of early 1920s. Fine. Because Communist Party, in fact, got established during those days, and basically it was M.N. Roy that established Communist Party. The movement, the development of early 1920s, different communist groups emerged in different parts of our country, and they all were getting inspired from the Bolshevik Revolution. Where did Bolshevik Revolution took place? Where did it take place rather? It was the country Soviet Russia, where Bolshevik Revolution had taken place. Fine. So they drew inspiration, they got inspired from the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and they kept advocating socialism as the solution of every existing problem, and particularly the problems that affect the nation. Fine. And 1941 was the year, children, when different partition started taking place. Several leaders, in fact, they decided to move away, to go out. Now, when the communists, particularly in the year 1941, the communists decided to support the British government against the Nazi Germany. Okay. As this news came and spread, so many leaders, they went out. Okay, they left the party. And one thing that was contrary to the other non-Congress party, this party, CPI, Communist Party of India, had a very well organized party machinery and cadre, dedicated cadre it had. Remember, at the time of independence, we are talking at the time of independence, if a party, apart from the Congress, they do have a dedicated cadre, they have their very well oiled party machinery, then it matters, children. Okay. And now, something what is very difficult to understand in case of the Communist Party, children. Now they started questioning the nature of Indian independence, and it really troubled the party. And they put forward their question, was India really free, or was freedom a real one? Was freedom not a namesake? Just after independence, children, just after independence, the party thought that the transfer of power, what had been in 1947, it is not a true independence. And this was something, it's not good by the side of any party to think. But communist, they thought on this line. Okay. And as a result, it encouraged violent uprisings. Violent uprisings started in different parts, in particular Andhra Pradesh, Telangana those days. And the support communist wanted to generate, wanted to gather, wanted to gain, it couldn't. It couldn't generate the popular support, children. Fine. It failed in getting the popular support, and as a result, they were crushed by the armed forces. See, when you are provoking someone, when you are encouraging someone to get indulged in violent uprisings, then the government gets, the police gets enough evidence and enough reason to suppress you, to crush you, and they had been crushed their activity. In 1951, finally, Communist Party took a very decisive step, and it was a landmark development in the think tank, in the thinking process, landmark development in the ideology of the Communist Party. You must say, Communist Party abandoned the path of violent revolution and it decided to participate in the coming general election. Yes, children, 1951-52 general election, first general election of our country, of independent India. And as a result, this party, Communist Party of India, got 16 seats. And with the 16 seats emerged as the largest opposition party. You can say the second largest party. Its support was in different part of our country, in particular Kerala, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and our state Bihar as well, children. Fine, this party got support. And the famous leaders, the renowned leaders of these parties, as in the board also in fill in the blank, match the following leaders of different parties are being asked. Suppose 4 leaders name had been given and their party's name had been given on another side, you need to match it. So the leaders of Communist Party, in fact, like we had the champion thinker of communism from Kerala, A.K. Gopalan. Okay, and basically he was a Congress worker in the beginning, but in 1939 he joined the Communist Party, and after the split in 1964 he joined CPIM. That also we are going to discuss. And thereafter he kept working for a strengthening of the party. Fine, the A.K. Gopalan, then S.A. Dange, E.M.S. Namboodiripad, a very renowned figure, politicians from the Kerala, P.C. Joshi, who can forget his name, Ajay Ghosh, P. Sundaraiah. They all were very notable leaders of this Communist Party of India. And the major split we found in this party in the year 1964, children, when ideological divide, ideological gap, ideological rift we found, when the rift was there between Soviet Union and China, we found the ideological rift in our Communist Party also. Now, the pro-Soviet faction came to be known as and remained as the Communist Party of India, CPI, and its opponent now, they formed CPIM, Communist Party of India Marxism. Communist Party of India Marx or Marxist. So you also say it Marxist Communist Party. Okay, and both these parties, as India is a land of diversity, we are having the multi-party representative democracy. So these two parties are continuing, these two parties are flourishing. And on the same line, we do have the other parties like Bharatiya Janata Sangh, we do have the Swatantra Party, and this party, particularly children, Communist Party, we can't forget the very famous victory in Kerala. That was 1957 assembly election. Means any party other than Congress that formed the government in independent India, it was the Communist Party that won election, assembly election in 1957, children. Fine. So just go through all these important parties and their development, their ideology in particular. Some of us, we find our ideology very close to the ideology of these parties, similar to the ideologies of these parties. Some of us may not like. It is immaterial whether we like or not. We need to understand their thinking process. We need to understand their working pattern, their ideology in particular. Fine, children. go through the lessons properly, give time, have a concept. Anything you are not able to understand, must ask it very next. Okay, the questions, assignments, worksheets, or test whatsoever you are getting, must do it religiously, and the notes that are being given to you, keep it preparing for your coming periodic test examination, and at last for the final examination, that will be your 2021 board examination. Fine children, take care, have a good day.